Zoe or Zoe?
Zoe, like
Zoe.
Joe.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
where are you from, Zoe?
All over. Like, where was I born?
Yeah,
raised?
where were you? Yeah.
I was born in Virginia. I'm a military brat, so I've been
Oh,
all
okay.
over.
Oh, okay.
And I was in the military. So, I think until I met my husband, we were dating. So from 1983 to 2017, I never lived in one spot longer than 3 years.
Wow. Is it the gentleman that was here with you?
Yeah, the big guy
Oh,
in the
okay.
gray T-shirt. That's
Oh,
my.
okay, really cool.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
guys live now here in Miami?
We do. Yeah.
Oh, how long? How long have you guys been living here for?
Two full years officially. Actually, just in January. And
Oh,
then
that's
we
pretty cool.
had a place about a year before moving here full time.
Mhm.
We wanted to make sure we kind of liked it. But we
Yeah.
live up in.
So you love it?
We live in Sunny Isles.
Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah,
I don't know that I love it down here. Coconut Grove's cool.
Yeah.
The Grove's definitely cool, but
If I were to have a home here, like I decided, I'm born and raised here, but
Yeah.
if I decide, because my girlfriend and I are looking to like move like out of here,
Where?
just to St. Pete, Tampa area.
okay, you're gonna
It's
stay
like
in Florida.
Yeah, stay in Florida. We've also looked into Colorado.
That's where I
but-
just came from.
Oh, for real? Those are,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, she's like iffy about it, just more because of the snow. She loves the cold, but literally the 2 times we've gone together to the snow, we've been in car accidents. So,
It's-
so she's not a big fan of it.
It's,
But
it's not abnormal.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
where do you live then?
I live here in Miami, but in Kendall area.
Kendall. Okay,
Yeah, in
got
Kendall
it.
area. So, and my family lives literally like 10 minutes from me, so I've
Okay.
always been here
Close.
in
Yeah.
Kendall area.
We,
But-
I would investigate Tampa for sure.
Yeah, I actually really like it. It's either like retired people or like a young crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everybody has told me that it's growing a lot too. Like it's like another Miami, not as crazy, not as hectic, not as what's the word, like grimy as well.
Yeah.
So like-
Well, it has had a ton of growth in the last 10 years.
It has.
And the same
Yeah.
thing with Fort Lauderdale.
yeah, for a lot
Oh my
of that,
gosh,
it's
the
grown a
last
lot.
2 decades. Holy cow, the place
Yup,
is
yup, yup.
totally different. So, all right. Well, let's do. Okay, I have a good one to start.
Go ahead.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received as a creative?
Oh.
So we'll just shorten it and say what's the best
I haven't
piece of
been doing
advice.
like because I haven't been doing like content for like that long, to be honest. Like I started it this year. I've always done it as like for fun,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to start doing it more because to me it's kind of fun. Like I travel a lot too for fun.
Oh.
My girlfriend, so I'm like, let me start recording things. And I'm not gonna lie, my memory, I have like short-term like not actually, but I forget a ton of things because just yesterday I was editing one of my YouTube videos, my first YouTube video, and I was like, wow, like there's so many of these like clips that I'm like, I don't even remember doing this. So I'm like, I'm kind of as well anytime I want to look back at it,
It's
I
there.
could do it. But let's say, best piece of advice would be, so I have a small business, right? I do screen printing and embroidery, and I think the main thing that people have told me is to not try to do everything yourself. Which
That's called solopreneur.
yeah. So, and I think it's since I'm like Hispanic, my family's super Hispanic, and they're the types to be like, to try to do everything themselves. They're like they don't trust anybody else to be able to handle anything. So my dad would work. They used to own dry cleaners, and my dad would go in at 4 a.m. to make sure everything's getting done, and then my mom would get there a little later. But they never like let anybody stay there like as a manager or to handle anything. They would do it all themselves until they got burnt out, of course.
Yeah.
So that's something I had to learn because I started my business. I was trying to do everything. I was working 24/7, and literally just this year, like a couple months ago, I switched everything to. So I do screen printing and embroidery, and I switched everything to outsource. Now I just focus on the marketing aspect of it and looking for clientele. So that it makes it way better on me. Now I'm not actually like doing all the heavy lifting. Now I'm not printing everything, embroidering everything. Like such a big weight off my shoulder, and I learned a lot too. I got rid of my shop that I really didn't need a whole shop that I was paying like excessive for like for no reason. I got rid of that, sold out my machinery, and now like I'm like a lot more calmer. I could take in a lot more orders. So that was
Alright.
probably like the best lesson I learned because I'm like I need to like take that step and stop trying to think that I could do everything
Amazing.
myself.
Yep.
So
I
how
know
about yourself?
that I can totally understand. Well, it sort of morphs into the best piece of advice just in general.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to be perfect for
Yeah.
you to start.
Yep.
And I think I am a little bit of an OCD perfectionist, and so I want it to read correctly. I want it to, I don't know, I can't get my thoughts out on the page. Oh, I put it on the page. Oh, I don't like the way that that reads. And then, shoot, so many times the type, the copy disappeared, like it erased, and I had spent so much time, and then I was like, screw it, I don't even want to post. So I think the best advice is if you're creating content, especially if you're posting and you're doing things like that, you need to get into the habit of doing it to create the habit. And I'm guilty also, but I'm
Same.
really good on stories and I remember to do stories frequently, but gosh, I hate posting. Now, getting into the long form content creation, but I would say which I like that way more. I like
I
the
kinda
more
do too.
YouTube style.
Yeah, same.
Instagram but anyway, I like YouTube style because I like to learn as well. And I feel like it's a little bit more where you can watch, you can get engrossed in
Yeah.
it, you can learn something and then go. Like, I just feel like sometimes socials are too. You don't know whether it's true or not, and then
Valid.
it's tough. So anyway,
I do love that though. You're extremely right. I do 100%.
do.
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
Not be perfect. Like I think perfection will come as long
Yeah.
as you're focused on doing it the right way, learning, advancing, progressing, not just doing something like sometimes I tell my son, I'm like, did you really just do it that way? That was literally like the half-assed worst way to do it just to say you did it.
Yeah.
You didn't put any effort into that whatsoever. So you got to put some effort into it, obviously. But
Damn, I love that. No, that's perfect because it's true. It's literally true.
Because then 2 years goes by and you look back and my husband and I were just talking about trends and the viral catches, whatever it might be. Like you could have been in that viral catch, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But you weren't doing anything 2 years ago.
Yep.
That's my best advice because I struggle with it too.
Yeah.
And I know it does affect. I know that it has a great effect on the outcome.
It does, because that's also a main thing I've heard a lot of people say. Like they're like, a year, 2 years passes by so quick, and they're like, wow, I should have done it, but why didn't you do it? So
Got it.
I love that. That's actually perfect. I love that.
Totally.
Good advice.
Yeah. All right. Are we on you or me?
You had asked a question. Let's see. Unless you have a good one, or you want to ask another one, you could go
I'm
ahead.
just kind of reading through these.
Yeah, me too.
I only got to read 2 or 3 of them for my husband.
Let's see.
If you had unlimited resources, what's the first project you'd create?
So the first thing that comes to mind is unlimited resources.
So anything.
I'd build schools. I'd probably build schools, more schools like in
That's awesome.
third world countries, yeah. But the other thing too is also property for myself, like more properties, like for family to invest in property. So there's the top 2 things that I would do.
That's awesome.
So.
Took me by surprise. Not that I should be surprised. I didn't know anything that you were going to say, but that one was really deep. I appreciate that. That was
Of course.
great.
Let's see.
I'll tag on to that one too. So I'm a
Go ahead.
veteran, but
Mhm.
I've been really disappointed in how migration had been handled over the previous 4 years.
Mhm.
I'm all for immigration, but I'm not for breaking the law to do it.
Yep, that's
and
valid.
then I come, but what happened to your parents? Did they come legally?
No, they did not actually.
And then what about all the other immigrants? Did they come legally? And so now we're
No.
looking at it like some of them are here legally and paying taxes and did it the right way, and some are here illegally,
Yeah.
getting things and not paying anything in return. So it was really frustrating for me over 4 years to see that, especially when I was in the Navy
Mhm.
and I was committed to our country
Yeah, of course.
and protecting our country. And then when our government wasn't protecting our country, I think for me, what I realized was, wow, look at all the money that's been given to people that are here illegally.
Mhm.
What about the people that are our people,
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
our American veterans that are homeless,
Yeah.
our mentally disabled or distraught people that are living out on the streets?
Yeah.
Look at
Which is actually crazy. Like, I've seen that a lot, and I'm like, why? Like,
we don't have to take everybody in.
yeah, that's
but
true.
We should be taking care of the people that are here,
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
Americans.
Mhm.
So you said schools. I would definitely, if I had unlimited resources, in addition to a few other things, it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
something
same.
that I would love to help homeless people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
why
yeah.
don't we have more shelters? Why don't we have more I don't, for lack of better way to describe it, but more psychologists and people like that can
Yeah.
work with the PTSD issues, the mental diseases that we have that
Yeah.
affect all those people. So it's tough to see. That was really hard for me to see and watch over the last 4 years.
That makes sense. No, I definitely, with the limited resources, I would try my best to help in every area. Like
Yeah.
animals, people who need it, education. Like, to be honest, I'm a helper. Like, I love to help people in any way I can. Like, if I was Jeff Bezos, for example, I would do my best to help in any way I can. Obviously, it's hard to help everybody in the world, but as many people as every person counts. So
Right.
that's
Yep.
definitely where I would implement it. Like, because I wouldn't be selfish in that aspect.
It's
But
it's
but it's a crazy world we live in. So
I know. Sorry for the
no, you're good.
the heavy question.
You're good. You're good. This is fun. You never know.
I
Like, I
know.
love talking to people about different things because you just never know. Like, there's things that I don't know, and I love to just hear other people what they think about. Always like to see another perspective of things because maybe I might just have this perspective because of how I grew up, which actually super random. But like my girlfriend like taught me a lot. Like my girlfriend, she's Cuban, she's half Cuban, half Spain. She's born and raised in Miami too, but she's been through a lot more than I ever was. So she's taught me a ton, like of
Oh, okay.
attitude-wise, how to like hold myself, how to like understand things, listen things. So,
Wow.
which that's why like I love to like she put me into a perspective to like listen to other people as well. Like people have different perspectives of things, different ideas, how people go about doing things. So I'm like now I like opening my eyes a lot more to like people. Like I want to hear what
Oh, it's
people's
good.
thoughts are on things. So.
Well, then good. We're on it. So, did your parents ever become legal?
My dad did, and my mom took forever. I actually just asked her like 2 weeks ago. I was like, "Oh, are you a citizen?" Because like I love my parents, but I'm actually not super close with them. Like they just, I don't.
Too different.
Yeah, like they're just too different. I don't agree with their values and a bunch of stuff. So I have them at a distance. Like I moved out. I'm 27 now. I moved out at 24. Like desperately. Like I couldn't live there anymore. So now I love them from a distance. Like for special occasions, I see them and stuff.
Good.
But my mom, I think she's about to become a citizen. If I'm not wrong, I believe so. But my dad is.
Yeah, good.
My dad is, and to be honest, I also don't feel like he's really taking advantage of it because he is a citizen. He could have done a lot more, but he got stuck in just working construction for my cousins. So that's what they
Hey.
do. But I keep them at a distance. Love them and stuff, but from a
I-
distance.
I totally can relate. I have a biological mother. We're very, very estranged. We text each other about 4 times a year. It's your sister's birthday. It's your aunt's birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Easter. And it's very elementary, which is good. If that makes
Yeah.
her happy and
Yeah,
helps
same.
her stay connected, that's fine. But we're just two very different people.
That's why like hopefully my parents never see this, but whatever. Like I don't think they will, but they're just like the way just they think. I feel like they left me. They put me like in a cell where like I couldn't think more. Like I couldn't
Oh,
analyze things different. That's why I mentioned my girlfriend because she like once we moved out because I was already dating her for a year, but we moved out and a whole different world like opened me up to a different world, literally reality. Like it was just insane because they had me locked up there. Just like they had different ideas, values that I just didn't agree with or that I didn't think were bad. You get me? Because obviously I grew up like that. They also grew up like that back in theirs. So it's just different, definitely different than all the people I've met throughout because they also don't have that many friends. So so I don't think they even made the effort to like understand different views. So
yeah. Oh, that's
it's weird.
tough. That's
Sorry
tough.
for the deep stuff.
No, it's okay. That's the kind of stuff I like because I'm an incredibly blessed woman for sure, but we moved a ton. So just in the sense of I never grew up in one spot longer than 3 years. So when you do something like that, that was my life. That was my father's life. He got stationed here, got stationed there. You can't just say, okay, family. I mean, I guess you could, but okay, family, you're going to stay here because it's very important that you live in one place. So some people challenge me, and I'm sure some people get upset by my response, but we have an amazing country with 50 different states, and I read the statistic. It was something crazy. I can't remember if it was like 87% or 93% of people have never left their state that they were born in.
It's pretty common. A lot of people.
I mean, you can drive to Tampa and go to Tampa and you were born here, but
Yeah.
have you ever left Florida?
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to New York? Have you ever gone to Chicago? Have you ever gone to LA? Have you ever gone to San Francisco? Have you ever gone to Canada? Have you ever gone anywhere? Have you ever driven? Yes, I know flying and hotels and all that stuff are expensive, but there's definitely ways to do it on the cheap.
Yeah, of course.
I was, so one, we had to move. So I wasn't given the luxury or the lifestyle, the choice to not move and grow up in one spot. So I never experienced what that was like. But I will tell you this, you can drop me off anywhere in the world and I can figure it out. And
I
part of
love
that
that.
is because I grew up, I went to 1 middle school, I went to 3 elementary schools, I went to 3 high schools, I went to 2 colleges, I went into the military. I was stationed here, I moved there, I got out of the military, I moved there, I moved there, I moved there, I built a business. I don't need to, I've learned how to learn what are the key things you need to do when you get somewhere. And networking is great.
Yeah.
It truly is. And then, but just think about you never leave, not you as in you,
Yeah, yeah.
but rhetorically,
Mhm.
you never leaving Miami. And then you meet me, who's lived in 10 different places, who's lived in 8 different states, who's worked with 3 or 4 growing companies, things like that. And you get a totally different perspective.
Yeah.
Like you were saying,
Yeah, yeah.
you were in the confounds
Yeah.
until you were 24. And then you stepped out, and then in the last 2 to 3 years, you were like, wow, the world is really big.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
And there's a lot of things that we all can influence, but that also can influence us.
Yeah.
And when you don't have different perspectives to be able to influence you,
Yep.
and I try to teach my son, I always tell him, I say, you believe in what you believe in because you know why you don't believe in something else.
Yeah.
You don't just believe in it because, I don't know, because your parents said so.
Yeah.
They actually might be right, and it actually might be the right thing to believe in, but do you know why they believe the way they believe? Did you research the other side, like conservative and liberal? Do you
Yeah.
know what the difference is? Are you a liberal because you just are? It's not really an answer.
No.
You're a liberal because I support and believe in these kinds of things because I don't support and believe in these
Yeah.
kinds of things versus being a conservative versus believing God versus not versus wanting to have a really strong, stable home and
Yeah.
you want to have a 9-to-5 job that's super secure versus I love instability, chaos. That's where I thrive because I try to control the chaos.
Yeah.
The instability challenges me. I'm a super determined person. And
Same.
we were just laughing, my husband and I. He said, there was one of these questions that said, describe your, like if somebody had to describe you, what would they say? Or what's your superhuman or skill or something like that? And he said, I'm sticky like a booger. You know,
I love
those boogers that
Yeah,
you sort of like secretively pull it and you get it and then you're like, and it flicks to your hand and then you see your hand and then it just won't go away. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
get the booger off. So I think that's probably, there's a level of determination that I have that I guess you just either have to decide you're going to be determined or
Yeah.
you're not. And you just, I guess you accept either or. I just have always been determined, but it's been a struggle for me over the last 4 or 5 years because everybody seems so pitted against each other purposefully.
Mhm.
And how am I supposed to ask so many questions if they're different from me so that I can learn? And that's my true intention versus, hey, I'm not trying to offend you.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to learn.
Yep.
You know, I'm not that. You are. How do I
Mhm.
learn more about you is to ask questions. And I've struggled a little bit because I'm like, is it okay? Can I ask you a question
Right.
without
No,
offending you? Are you okay? Like, are you going to judge me?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like you run into a lot of those people here. That's why, like, don't get me wrong, I'm pretty social. I love to talk to people, but here, people, I mean, I've lived here my whole life. People easily get offended for anything. So I always try to, like, say either, I mean, depending what it is, try to say in, like, a happy way. Or I'm like, oh, like, I'm not trying to offend you or whatever the case may be.
God,
But
doesn't it
some
suck that you have to say that?
Yeah, it does. That's why, like, I hate it. Like, I mean, it sucks,
Just
but,
say
like,
what you got to say, man.
yeah. Because some
That's-
people just,
everything's offensive.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I'm like, well, how was I gonna know that that would have offended you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, because there's things that maybe it offends you, but it doesn't offend me. You get me? So like, that's another thing that I had to like really see, because I'm like, damn, like I unintentionally sometimes have offended people. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I'd rather you tell me. Like, I want to see your perspective. Why was it offensive? Da, 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 da. But
It's tough. It's a complicated world right now.
it really
for
is.
Sure. and I don't know if it's just because I've gotten older and I'm more experienced now and I see things, and then you think, okay, in decades, and now I've got several decades under my belt, and I'm looking, going, oh, the last decade wasn't like this decade. Why do I feel that way? Well, probably I was oblivious to a lot of things, but anyway, it's
Pretty cool.
yeah.
Pretty cool. I was gonna mention something too before, when you had mentioned about, oh, like the reason like I also wanted to move is to experience somewhere else too. Like,
Yeah.
like my girlfriend also pushed for it. 'Cause I didn't really think about it, like, to be honest, until she mentioned it. And we're looking into Colorado first, because I have one of my best friends that lives in Colorado Springs.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, I really like, we're trying to go from like more like city, like Denver, and we were looking. We actually went apartment shopping for like a while, and then she just like leaned toward. We also went to St. Pete, and she leaned way more towards St. Pete because there's still beach. It was still kind of Miami, not too far from our family if she wanted to come visit.
yeah.
But I was like, I kind of wanted to leave Florida just to experience, even if it's 1 to 2 years. Like 1 to 2 years kind of flies by pretty quick.
You can do
So, and-
anything for a year.
Yeah, that's why. And I was like, you know what? Like, I would love, like, even when we went to New York last year too, we didn't really end up talking to a lot of people. We were there for a week, but we ended up doing all the touristy things.
Mhm.
But I wanted to go back to just talk to people. Like, I just want to go to like different places and just talk to people, meet more people outside of here. So definitely one thing I'm trying to do.
It's a very, I mean, you have to be committed to, it is a very, very, one, it's very different from the state perspective.
Mhm.
And then two, it's cold.
It is. It is.
And it is not cold for like 2 months.
Yeah,
It is cold for a long time.
that is true.
So totally different wardrobe you're going to
Yeah,
need.
yeah.
Like
There's
you
a-
do not have the right stuff and the right setup. So you got to think through some of those things. And like we both said, you can do anything for a year.
Yeah.
But okay, what are you gonna do there? What's she gonna do there? Where Colorado Springs is, it's I would say that's a town. That's not really a city.
Yeah, yeah. It's more of a town because it's,
I would say Denver is a big town.
yeah.
It's
Basically.
only 2 million people in Denver, so it's like a Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, literally.
So it's not like a Miami, but it's growing a lot.
It is.
Traffic's
That's why.
gotten
No, he's
bad
told me
there.
he's been my
Is he?
friend.
No, he's in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, he's in
Yeah.
Colorado Springs, but he's been living there now for about to be 3 years actually, and he loves it. He's super outdoorsy. He's there with his now wife, so they love it there. And they were convincing me too. I did like the outdoorsy. I like the mountains. I like the cold, but just for some time because I do like hear that. I mean, it sucks that we only get like 1, 2, 3 days of cold. I would love a little bit more at least.
It's chilly outside.
But yeah, it's a little breeze,
It's
but
cold.
it's more
It's
like
cold.
here, like on the coast slightly. But I'm more in Kendall, there we don't really get a breeze, but
Yes, I was gonna say that's probably true. You do have a little bit of heat.
yeah,
A
so
lot
it's
of it.
pretty hot. But
There was
how long
one-
did they tell us to be here? I feel like
don't
we've
know.
been here for a while.
I think they left us.
Oh, okay, well, whatever. We'll keep talking.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see.
Oh,
Ba-ba-ba.
here's a good one. Describe your dream workspace. The location, the setup, the vibe.
My dream workspace. It would be a warehouse
Ooh.
where I've always wanted to have like a spot where I could have my friends over. Like, so when I'm still working with this business right now, but I'm looking to start another business because I kind of got burnt out with the one I'm doing. I do screen printing and embroidery, but I wanted to have, which is still in the play with whatever business I do, but I wanted to have a warehouse where, you know, there's one side of the whole business where, you know, everything's running, but then the other side is like a fun spot where I have like all my friends, like a pool table, theater room. Like that's the type of environment I wanted to be able to go into work too. So that'd be my ideal place. A studio like this, a music studio for fun, like all the cool little random things I would love there.
Yeah. That's like the Google, if I recall
Yeah,
correctly,
yeah.
where they've got like babysitting there, and they've got vending machines with like really good stuff, and they've got
A
a
coffee bar,
gym and a coffy bar, like all kinds of stuff there.
That'd be
It's
my ideal,
sweet.
a warehouse where I could fit all that in, where that would be my sanctuary, where I'm always at.
I
How about you?
Well, so I own a supplement company. My husband owns
Awesome.
a biotech company that works with stem cells, and he's a
Awesome.
long-time pioneer, influencer in the field in that. And then he's a physician, so
awesome.
he's still actually
Oh, cool.
practicing medicine.
Mhm.
So,
Wow,
so we
that's awesome.
put all that stuff together, and it's really the look good, feel good, perform good. So the look,
Mm.
feel, live great, and that's why actually we get along so well. Is we don't argue about going to the gym. We don't argue about
Love
the
that.
sacrifice that each person needs for themselves,
Yeah.
whatever that time is. We don't argue about toilet seats. We don't argue about dishes, laundry. We don't argue about any of that stuff. We just do it. Like if you see the toilet seat up, put
Yeah.
it down.
Mm-hmm.
So I say all that stuff because, like you, that was funny when you said warehouse, but so I have supplements. So we have a huge stockpile warehouse of it. And then the biotech company is very scientific, so it's very sterile, and you've got like laboratory set up, and then the practice is beautiful. So I don't know what the ideal space would be, is because I can just hole up anywhere and
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
But I actually kind of, as soon as you said sort of a warehouse, I was thinking, God, I like that. I do like that industrial feel. And you
Yeah, I
could
love that industrial.
have like industrial style ceilings, but then have it really chic and kind of. I've always loved when you put wood and metal together,
I love that.
or like
Yep, yep.
steel and silk. Like I just love textures versus color.
Okay.
So I think I would do something like that, to where there's my warehouse, there's my laboratory, and then like
Yeah.
you, like here's the cool space. Now it did say something about vibe.
I love that.
I like to get stuff done.
Same.
So I mean, I like to have fun and talk and joke and all that stuff, but I love checklists.
Mhm.
So I don't want it to be too distracting, too cool.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Because if it's like right there, like
I do
you know,
have to
like
get
if
some
you
work
like you
done.
work from home and like you work in your room, the bed is right there, so it could like easily distract you. Or
You
put
mean
to
you could
sleep.
easily take a nap?
Yeah. You could easily take a nap. Yes. But yeah, that's valid. That's the only thing that like I would like to separate, because you know, if you want to go hang out, you have your spot where you hang out, and then your business spot too. So that's
Yeah.
valid too.
Work and life.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know how I would do that one. Take turns giving each other a creative challenge, and film your reactions. Ugh. I'm gonna skip that one.
Let's see.
Oh wow, describe what you do without saying your job title. I can't do that now because you know what I do already.
Yeah.
But so I already know what you do. Dang, that would have been a good one though.
I mean, you know, my business, but not my full-time job.
Okay.
Let me see.
Let's see if
which
you can do
one
it. It says, it's one on flip over.
Oh.
Describe what you do without saying your job title.
It's kind of hard. I mean, without it's not that hard, but
Oh.
I'm trying to think about it without saying what it is.
So that's what makes it hard.
Yeah, because it's pretty easy, but there's not. I mean,
Give it a shot. Start
so
talking
describe
about
what
it, I
you
guess.
do. Okay, I deal with clinics. I'm on a computer. I do all my work on a computer, but I deal with clinics. Making sure tests are being processed correctly.
So you're some sort of like IT-ish kind of, or I guess, let's see, no, not quality control. That's not, I guess maybe, no
No,
quality
It's-
control.
no, not quality control. I work from home.
Well, if you're doing stuff on tests and computers, you
I'm
still
not
can
doing.
run
Yeah.
tests.
Yeah, that's true. I make sure. I mean, there's a specific area I work in, so I guess I'm trying to get you to think of that specific area.
What
but
kind of
it's,
clinics?
Cancer clinics,
Okay, so healthcare.
OBGYN. Yeah.
Okay. And you don't have to go there.
No, I do not. They're
And
based
you-
out of California.
And you work on your computer.
Yes.
And you are evaluating tests? Like tests come to you and you're doing
No.
something with it?
I'm just making sure we have all the information for the test to run.
Okay. So you're sort of a middleman.
Yeah.
So something happens at the clinic.
Yeah. It gets
It gets
sent to the
submitted
mace. Yeah. And
somewhere.
I make sure all the information.
All of this stuff is filled out correctly.
Yeah, and
And-
make sure all the tests are correctly and stuff like that.
I have no idea what that job title would be.
That's why I couldn't think. Well, I
I
was also
understand
just,
what you do.
That's
of.
why.
Okay, tell me what your job title
Whatever.
is.
I basically do I do customer service for a genetics company.
Oh, which one?
So Natera.
Oh, okay, cool.
Have you heard
We
of them?
should. We're getting ready to work with. Well, I shouldn't say that. So Galleri is another one that tests for just different kinds of cancers,
Mhm.
and then what's the other one that we worked with? David's getting ready to bring in genetics into to help better define what stem cells do
Oh.
and how they might actually work for you. We
okay.
treat thousands of patients over 20 years, and most of his patients fly from all over the world
okay.
to come and see him. And so when insurance doesn't cover stem cells. So for instance, I want to fix my knee.
Mhm.
I don't want surgery. So we know a lot about stem cells, the way we measure them and the way we customize them,
Right.
and they're all yours. But we don't know when something doesn't work, why.
Okay.
Because you got two knees,
Yeah.
he's got two knees. We made a dose up into the billions and put it in there, and your body can't send that many all at once into that one little small spot. So we did
Mhm.
it the right way, put it in the right place. How come it didn't work for you? But it worked for the 15 other people like you prior.
Mhm.
So instead of what we call it just on a cellular level, in the biological level, we're going to now go to the genome, and we're going to now go to the genetic
okay.
level. We have a database that we built out that's all across the United States, and we
Mhm.
have an institution in Croatia too, so we're international. But
Oh,
it collects all these data points from all these other patients and people. So you got stem cells, you got this dose, it didn't respond. These 10 other people got stem cells, got that dose in their knee, right place, treated, they did respond. Why did this person not respond? Well, from that cellular level, we can't really answer the question, but
Okay.
perhaps we can answer it from a genetic level. Then we would run genetic tests on the patients prior
Okay.
to treating them. We'd take all of that data, we would upload their genome into our database. So our database is customized to be able to incorporate machine learning, artificial intelligence as the capability is growing. But we have 5,000 patients in the database. There's no statistician, there's no clinical trial or study that has 5,000 patients. So you have to rely on some machine learning,
Yeah.
information sifting, sorting, finding trends in order to be able to do anything or to be
Yeah.
able to do a predictive model. Meaning, why did that one knee not work? There's something genetically, and we have to do it this way instead. Or you can say genetically it will prevent anything from working on that, and you're going to have to replace it. We're not there yet, but that's what his company does.
Oh, okay. Damn, that's really cool.
Yes.
Cool.
My title is very easy. I'm the president.
Oh, perfect.
He's the CEO, but the president really runs the show. Hopefully he'll see that. So
He hears it. He's like, oh, it's true. I mean,
so what's your title?
It's a.
You don't even know it.
Customer support associate.
Associate.
Yeah, there you go.
That one. Got it. And what's the
So,
company's name again? Tell me.
Natera.
Natera.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it's a pretty big company. I like it for now. I'm just sticking there until one of my business takes off and they could pay on my bills and stuff. But it's a pretty big company based out of California, about 5,000 employees. I like it. Everybody's there super nice. So,
Oh, that's good.
so I've been sticking with it and trying to grow within the company in like a project management role. So
Can
I
you
like it.
describe your girlfriend's without saying her job title?
yes, so she deals with big companies like Staples, Brother, Panera Bread, only for the employees, and
Human resources.
no, she travels a lot for these things and does trade shows
I
for
was
the
just getting ready to say, does she have to go to trade shows
yeah.
for these things, for those companies?
Yes, trade shows. She also does it for I forgot what's the word, like for fun as well, not just for trade shows, not for just business, but for those companies. She also does forgot the word, starts with an A.
An A?
Yeah, it's for fun.
All I can think of right now is extracurricular activities
No, it's
for fun.
whatever. She does
Anyway, yeah.
trade shows stuff for like corporation business things, but also stuff for the employees. to do fun activities. Either
Event-
Costa Rica.
Gordon. Oh,
Yeah, you got it.
okay.
Event coordinator.
Oh, perfect. Sweet.
I was trying to like not say it without saying it because that one's kind of straightforward too.
I
But
got
she's
it.
an event coordinator. She just got back from Orlando, and
Okay.
she's been traveling a lot actually to Costa Rica, DR, Puerto Rico. It's only for companies. It's for only for employees. For big companies, only for the employees. So that's what she does mainly.
Oh,
But she's
that's
trying to go more into like the social aspect of things. So like Ultra, Coachella, stuff like that. She wants to do more back in those type of events.
I do not. I'm too old.
No, she loves that. That's where she's like right now. The good thing with this company that she's working with, they deal with like $1 million contracts and like, big companies. Stable's brother, tons of big companies that like helps her at least for her resume for like
Yeah.
to work for these bigger other bigger companies because for like Ultra, Coachella, you need like 5+ years in event planning.
The
So
experience, yeah.
the
Oh, that's good.
experience. So
Well, good.
that's what she's working towards.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great.